Hi, and welcome to Faces of Italy. I'm your host, Janine, and I'm with the fabulous Chef Kevin.
Hey, Janine.
How you doing, Kevin?
Excellent, excellent.
Good. What are we making today?
Simple and easy, and everybody should do this at home. And it's a nice Alfredo sauce.
Oh, Alfredo
from
sauce.
Scratch.
I've always wanted to know what exactly goes inside Alfredo sauce.
Well, all the good things, right?
All the good things.
So we're going to start off with really simple, basic ingredients.
Okay.
We have 1 stick of butter.
1 stick of butter. Wow,
we got
whole stick of butter.
We got our pan heating up to a nice medium heat. We don't want to burn the butter, we just want to melt the butter.
Okay.
So we don't want to burn it, so we'll swirl it around.
Should we turn this down at all? Okay.
That would be great. Our pan's a little hot. That's okay. We'll cool it down with the milk. We got 2 cups of actually half and half.
Okay, half and half milk. Oh, that's what makes it nice and thick and creamy, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And if you want, if you don't want to go on the end of all those calories, you can cut back. You can do 2% milk.
Okay, so you can substitute
Lighten it up a little bit.
That is great to know. Fantastic.
Now, the recipe's going to get some egg in it. So if
I'll
you
get
pull me
that.
a couple eggs out
Sure.
there. Yep, there you go. And I'm going to dice up some 1 clove of garlic.
Now, are you putting the entire eggs in there?
Actually, no. We're going to separate the eggs and just use the yolks only.
Oh, okay.
Now, the yolks are the most flavorful part of the egg.
Yes.
Fat is flavor, and that's what you want in your sauce.
Right, okay.
So if you want to give that a stir, make sure our butter's melting.
Sure.
I'll take the eggs from you. Thank you very much.
Now this pan is going to be hot, so.
Thank you.
Sure.
We have some pasta going on here, so
Yeah, see that.
it's a quick and easy sauce.
Really, so how long should this take to cook?
Like less than 2 minutes.
Oh, okay, fantastic.
As all the ingredients come together. So I got my 1 clove of garlic, nicely diced up here.
Okay.
I'm going to add that, and then it'll sit and simmer in with the milk. The half and half. There we go.
Okay. Now what's next?
We're going to wait for the butter to finish melting, and then then we'll add our cheeses. So we have half a cup of Romano. Go ahead and pour that in there if you want.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. Perfect. And the butter's melting nice?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's just about there. Go for
Okay.
it. Then I have half a cup of grated Parmesan.
Okay, so you put in 2 different cheeses.
Right.
Nice.
And if you want to switch it up, you can always use a different cheese.
Really? Like what?
Fontina, Asiago. There's all kinds of different, as long as it's a dry cheese and not an oily cheese. You just want a nice dry cheese because it's going to melt and all the flavors are going to meld together.
Okay. Now what would be consisted of an oily cheese?
Mozzarella.
Oh, okay.
Is a very oily cheese. Cheddar. Anything.
My favorite, cheddar.
Yeah.
Yummy.
Something that comes, when you open it up and it's pliable. It's not stiff and hard. You want a stiff, hard cheese. Yep.
Okay.
So I'll go ahead and separate the eggs.
Okay.
And our
I
butter's
turn this
melted,
up
right?
a little bit just because it's not melted yet. Is that okay?
Okay, that's fine. We'll make sure that it gets melted. Do you want to make sure you separate all the white?
Oh, let's see how you do that.
So you just break the egg in half, and we'll save that yellow there. There we go.
Nice.
There's in the garbage. See, it's in half. All the white's going in there. And if you want to, you can save the egg white and make yourself an omelet tomorrow morning.
Oh, okay.
Do an egg white omelet, right?
Yeah.
Why waste it? There's nothing wrong with
Exactly.
it. Put it in the fridge, and it's good for the next morning. There's our other egg yolk. So we got the 2 egg yolks.
Okay.
The eggs off my finger.
All right,
I have a little
you-
secret ingredient.
Another secret ingredient. What can
Fresh
that be?
nutmeg. All it is half a teaspoon, and that's going to add another layer of flavor, and it's just going to be.
Wait a minute, nutmeg and Alfredo sauce?
Sure. Oh yeah. Smell
Really?
it. Smell it.
No, I know what nutmeg smells like.
Right.
That smells
There you go.
delicious.
And only a little. A little goes a long way. So stir that on there.
Okay.
How's the cheese? Did the cheese melt in there?
Yes, the cheese is
Good.
melted.
Perfect. Perfect.
Butter
and what
is
we're going to do
almost
is
melted.
also we want to take it off the fire because now the cheese is melted, and we're going to add the egg yolk because we don't want the yolk to scramble.
Oh, I see. So if you put the yolk on top of this right now when it's on the
It
fire,
might, especially if it's a
start
boil
cooking
or
on
a simmer.
itself.
Yeah, you don't want little bits of scrambled
No,
egg.
you don't.
Yeah,
That's not
exactly.
good for Alfredo
Chop that
sauce.
up
Not
there.
at all.
So go ahead and mix that in there.
Okay.
Pull it off the fire. There we go. Go ahead and scrape all the goodness out of there.
All that yumminess.
Yeah,
huh?
there you go. That's the good stuff.
Look at that. Okay.
And if you wanted to make it even more flavorful, you could add another egg yolk. It's up to your own
Really?
preference. Oh yeah, absolutely. Now I'm going to add a little salt to it.
All right. So how much
I always
salt?
put
Just like a pinch.
in my hand only It's half a teaspoon.
Half a teaspoon?
There we go.
Okay.
That's all it needs right there.
This looks
now
good
you can put it back
already.
on the fire,
Okay.
and it'll actually thicken up as it cooks.
So do I just let it sit now? And, okay.
Yep, just give it a little stir, and we can actually crank it up to about maybe 6 or 7, 6 and a
okay.
half. You want the egg to coagulate. It's gonna solidify, and it's gonna add that sauciness to it.
Okay.
We got some pasta cooking here. It's ready to go. It's al dente.
Well, that was quick and easy.
Right?
I mean, yeah, I
Right?
thought there was so much more to this. That's fantastic. Okay.
So if you want to grab a bowl there, I'll
Sure
load
can.
you up with some pasta. Drain the water off there. There we go. It's a little bow tie pasta. There you go.
Okay.
Ladle some out there for you.
That looks great.
Makes a little difference, yes. Just let it cook. And the way you can tell when a sauce is finished, you stick your spoon in there and it coats the back of the spoon.
Ah,
There you go,
okay.
just like
That
that.
is fantastic to know. I never knew that.
There's a little parsley.
Ooh, make it look all nice and pretty.
There you go. Give
Okay.
it a taste.
Mmm.
Nice.
Hi, and welcome back to Faces of Italy. Now, what we're gonna make now is what?
Chicken primavera.
Chicken primavera to go
most
with our...
primaveras is just usually the vegetables. We're gonna add a little chicken to it.
Okay, now this is gonna go with the Alfredo sauce that we already made earlier, correct?
That's right, that's right.
Fantastic. And if you missed how we did that, you can just go to our recipe and go to our website and you'll find the recipe there at facesofitaly.tv.
Sure.
Okay, so we're adding the chicken.
I have 2 cups of chicken breast diced, about 1-inch pieces of chicken.
Okay.
And I'm gonna season with some salt and pepper.
Okay.
We have, like I said, our original Alfredo sauce. Good to go. You want to season it up nice, and you want the chicken to get nice and brown. And then we'll add our vegetables, and we'll saute them off.
So what vegetables are we gonna be putting in here?
The original recipe calls for asparagus.
Asparagus?
Yeah, but you can use whatever you like. Green beans.
Green
Why not
beans?
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever you got in the fridge.
Really?
Pull out wherever you have. Carrots and some yellow bell pepper.
Ooh, bell peppers. Should I be stirring
A little
this?
sweeter. No, we're going to let it get brown on one side, then we'll give it a toss and
okay.
get the other side brown.
So that's the sweet pepper over there?
Yep, the sweet, and they're 1-inch pieces.
How much of that is that?
And that's
just
about a cup. It's 1
okay.
medium bell pepper.
Okay,
Yep.
1 medium.
And then I have some
Carrots.
little carrots, and they're in the raw state. So we're going to cook them up, and all those flavors are all going to meld together and come together. And then last but not least, we'll add about a tablespoon of basil.
Basil.
Yep.
Okay. Let's get started. When do we put the tomatoes in? At the same
That's
time
going to
we
be
do?
because it's a soft vegetable,
Okay.
and it's going to add the acid to it and other flavors to it, and then we'll add the pasta. Give it a toss, and we're good to go.
Okay. Fantastic. That's great that we can substitute the vegetables, you know. I actually love asparagus, so, but that's just me. But we're going to use the green beans today. Okay.
Yeah, the original recipe calls for asparagus, so it all depends on what you like.
Right.
So, and
Is that
that's
going to
what
be your
primavera
secret
is.
ingredient for today?
We want the chicken to cook.
Okay.
We'll get those other sides nice and brown. See the golden brown?
Yeah, I
That's what
see
you want.
that. Okay.
Salt and pepper, nice and simple.
Okay.
Green beans, all I did is took the bean, snap them in half. Simple, easy. We'll toss those in. That's about 1 cup's worth.
Okay. 1 cup of green beans.
And then our bell peppers. There you go. Get them all in there.
A cup of bell peppers.
We'll crank this baby up to high.
Okay.
We want that chicken to make sure we get it nice and cooked.
We'll just turn over all these other little
Yeah,
pieces
turn
here.
them over. Yep, make sure they get done.
Okay.
About a 5-minute dish. Doesn't take too long. Once that chicken's done,
5 minutes is perfect, especially at my house. Okay.
simple and easy. And
Yes.
see how easy. Once you get the ingredients diced up, it all comes together.
Right,
The
right.
pasta doesn't take more than 8 minutes to cook.
Okay.
I'm just simmering it here, so it'll be ready to go.
And that's some bow tie pasta from
Stir
earlier.
up my sauce. See how my sauce is looking? There we
Yeah,
go.
that
Nice and
is so
cheesy.
good.
Yeah.
Yes.
There we go. See?
That does look good.
And you can make several dishes out of that because that's quite a bit of sauce. A little
Yeah.
bit goes a long way. Yeah.
And I learned earlier, it's ready when it's coating the spoon. Okay.
Got our last hard vegetable. There you go. Toss it on in there. Ready?
See, if I did that, it would be everywhere.
Go ahead and flatten it back down. Everything gets back in the pan and gets to play together.
Okay.
And then, because the carrots are so thin sliced, they're going to cook a little faster.
Right.
And everything will come together. That's why you added those last.
Oh,
So
okay.
the other vegetables are a little thicker, a little heartier.
Right.
But you still want that little bite to it when you bite into it. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll add our little grape tomatoes.
Soft tomatoes,
Right.
which I love.
Right. Adds a little more acid to it.
How are we looking here?
Very good. Nice. See all the colors?
Yes, it's
Beautiful.
beautiful.
The nutrients that you're getting from everything. I mean, it's chicken breast. It's the
So
fresh
it's a healthy-
vegetables.
it's a healthy meal.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
We used olive oil. We didn't put any butter in it.
Right.
And
the
the
smell.
sauce that we're going to put in it.
And this
There you
looks
go.
beautiful.
Now here's our basil. Toss that on up.
Okay.
And we'll add the Alfredo.
My favorite,
There you
the
go.
Alfredo. Oh, look at that.
We'll get like, there we go. 2 ladles should do it.
Now this would feed what, a family of 4? or-
Absolutely. Look at that, huh? And then I have a little bit of Parmesan. We'll add some
to
Parmesan
coat
to
the
that.
top. I
Yep,
like
there
that.
you go.
Chef Kevin, you
See how
have
it all
done
melds
it again.
together, all the flavors. Thank you.
This is absolutely wonderful. Okay,
simple is that?
this looks great. Thank you,
Okay.
Chef Kevin. And we will be right back with more Faces of Italy.
Smell it.
Yeah. Hi, and welcome back to Faces of Italy. I'm your host, Janine, along with
Hey,
Chef Kevin.
how we doing today?
Good, fantastic. Okay,
Guess
so
what we're making today?
what is it?
It's one of my favorite dishes, Italian meatloaf.
Italian meatloaf.
This-
Okay, so what is different from Italian meatloaf and regular meatloaf?
Well, I'll tell you the common thing is we're using ground beef.
Okay.
And we're adding fresh garlic. And the breadcrumbs aren't just normal breadcrumbs.
They're not. What are they?
They're the seasoned Italian breadcrumbs.
Okay.
Got a cup of that. And then we're going to top it with my homemade marinara sauce.
Ooh.
So it's going to cook nicely. So first of all, we're going to get the vegetables toasting.
Okay.
A little olive oil in there. Let's crank it up to about an 8.
An 8, all right.
So we got red bell pepper diced up. We got the red onion,
Okay.
and then we'll add the garlic.
All right, so how much of this ingredient?
One red bell pepper, and then
Okay.
1 medium onion. Get a nice fine dice, because you don't want to find a big, hairy chunk of onion in your meatloaf.
No, we sure don't.
Oh yeah, you're not a fan of
I am not a fan of onions. I will, if I can't see them, then I'll eat them.
Oh, there
But
you
if
go.
I see them,
Right,
they're
right.
coming out of there.
And then also we got fresh parsley. We're going to mix fresh parsley in with it.
Right.
Another added ingredient for our Italian meatloaf.
Right. I'm not saying I don't like onions, you know.
Okay.
I'll cook with onions all day long. I just won't eat
Right.
them.
So that's going to give us about a cup of onions.
Okay.
And then
So
about
that's
a
what
cup-
we put in the pan first?
Yeah, we're going to saute them off. That's where we get the olive oil nice and hot there. And I'll chop up, while the vegetables are sauteing, I'll chop up the garlic. We have 4 cloves of garlic.
4 cloves of garlic.
So let's pop that in there. Go for it.
Sure.
There's the simmering. Let's get
There
a
we
little
go. I
sizzle
hear
going
it
on. There
now.
you go. Perfect. Thank you. There's the red bell pepper.
Stick
already
that in there
diced.
now?
Yep. Please.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, where did I put my stir?
Here you go.
Okay. Really? I don't want to scrape the bottom of
When
your...
you're in the kitchen, you want to improvise. That's all. That's
That's true. See, when onions are cooking, they smell so good, but just can't do it.
right. Some people don't like raw onions, and they
that
like
is
cooked
me.
onions.
Yeah,
Right.
cooked onions I'm good with. I'm very good with cooked onions, but still.
They do.
If I do see it though,
and
it's
if you
coming
cook
out
them
of
even
there.
longer, that's how you make your French onion soup.
Yes, which I love, believe it or not.
Right.
I love French onion soup. Okay.
I'll have to do my minestrone for you sometime.
Yeah?
That would-
Okay.
Fresh ingredients. That's what it's all about.
That's right.
Now I have 4 cloves of garlic,
Okay.
chopped up. Toss that in there. Boom, boom. Let's set off the table here.
Smells delish.
Let's add a little salt and pepper to the party.
Now, are we cooking the onions until they're clear?
Translucent.
Translucent,
That's
okay.
clear. Thank you. Yeah.
Right.
Layman's terms, right? How's that smell? You
It
smell like
smells
yeah.
so
Now we're
good.
talking, huh? We got our 1.5 pounds of ground sirloin.
Okay.
The reason I don't use extra lean because you want a little fat to give it some
The
flavor.
flavor.
Yes. And the way we're going to cook our meatloaf is on a sheet pan on top of a grate. So what happens is, instead of putting in a meatloaf pan, the meat kind of comes out sort of gray.
Yeah.
So this way, the fat and the juices roll off the sides of it, and it still solidifies. And we're adding a nice little juicy sauce on top of it too. So
Nice.
That can even make it better.
Okay.
So we still got some more ingredients to go, but that's finished. So we got to let that cool down.
Okay. So do we take it off the fire?
Yep, we're gonna take it and we're gonna
Turn it off?
Be my guest. Thank you very much. Once this cools down, then we're gonna add it to the ground beef and make our meatloaf.
Okay. Fantastic.
So,
So this
give it
is
a
all
couple
done.
minutes. Yep, we're not gonna mix anything until that cools down.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so we're going to be right back, and then we'll get started
You
with the
got
next
it.
step. Okay, we'll see you back in a second. Okay, now welcome back to Faces of Italy, where we are going to finish off the Italian meatloaf. Okay, so what's the next
So
step
we have
now?
our 1.5 pound of ground sirloin.
Okay.
And we've sauteed our vegetables and they've cooled down enough. And our vegetables have the onions, the red bell pepper, and the garlic, salt and pepper.
Right.
Nice, simple, you know, Italian flair. That's what's going in.
Right.
There we go. And now I removed all my rings,
Yes,
my watches.
no
I'm
jewelry.
ready to get down and
and
dirty.
dirty.
You got it. I'm going to have
Okay.
you pour in the ingredients.
Okay,
So
so-
first of all, we're going to start with the eggs.
Okay.
Let me
This
get this
is-
mixed up first.
okay.
We have salt and pepper in there already.
Yeah.
So we're going to get this in there. And we have 2 whole eggs.
2 whole eggs. Whites and everything.
Yep. Oh, yeah. And that's our binder. That's what's going to make our meatloaf a loaf.
Okay.
Yep. Without the eggs and the breadcrumbs.
I do have a question, though. Can you substitute the ground beef for ground turkey?
Excellent question. And I do it all the time.
Really?
Well, my wife's health conscious, and
Yeah.
that's why she likes it.
Alright.
There's less fat in it. And make sure you use the ground turkey breast instead of the ground turkey. Unless you
Ah.
want to use the ground turkey because there's more fat in ground turkey because they use the dark meat too.
Well, then won't that make it more flavorful
Sure.
if you use...
Exactly. Yeah. It's a happy medium.
I've been learning, you guys.
It's a scary thing.
It is.
Go ahead and add those eggs in
Okay.
there. Just dump them on in there. There we go.
Okay, now what?
I'm gonna mix them up, and then we'll
Oh,
add.
it's so gooey. How does it feel?
Great. There's a cup of breading.
Tell me when.
Go for it. Perfect. Now we also have a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. You say it 3 times fast.
Yeah, right?
Okay.
I won't even try.
Let me get a little more breading in there.
Okay.
There we go. See how it's starting to gunk up?
Yeah.
Go ahead and add that. That's another layer of flavor.
Okay.
How about some fresh parsley? That's about 2 tablespoons. Go ahead and dump it in there.
And what's that, basil?
Dried oregano.
Oh,
Or
oregano.
basil, excuse me. Yes, it is
Okay, basil.
You're right.
Okay.
Thank you for noting that for me. Mm-hmm. And that's only a tablespoon, so pop that in there. Perfect. See? And the thing is, you want to incorporate everything, pull from the bottom to the top. See how
So
some
that's
of it's
all gets
yeah,
coated with-
exactly.
okay.
Last but not least, well, we actually have 2 more ingredients.
The cheese?
The cheese.
My favorite.
you
Cheese
go.
on anything is
You just
just
can't go wrong, right?
fantastic. Okay.
And now we have one more final. Well, we're going to add a little salt and pepper to this too. We added it to the vegetables,
Right.
but let's add it to the meatloaf. It's going to bring all the other flavors together. That's the balsamic vinegar.
We're going to add that next?
Yep, that's a
Okay.
tablespoon.
Tell me
I'm going
when.
to let you eyeball it. Go for it.
No, don't
No,
let
you
me.
can-
That's good?
A little more.
A little more.
Perfect.
Okay.
You nailed it.
See, I'm good for something.
Yep. And salt and
Salt and
pepper.
pepper,
You might
okay.
guess. Go for it.
Is that good?
Yep.
Is that good?
You did both at the same time. That's good. I think I need a little more salt anyways.
Okay.
Now, the trick to meatloaf also is not to over knead it, because then
Oh.
it gets hard. So
Oh, really?
you sort of want it, yeah, it's like dough.
So how long should you do it then?
Well,
when will
it's
you know
done.
when
Everything's
it's ready?
incorporated. The last ingredients in there. Now we can just make our loaf.
Wow, I've always wondered how you make meatloaf.
There you go. And we have one ready. And all
Okay.
I'm going to do to this one, put it on the tray. We're going to put the sauce over it, and set the oven's at 350.
Ah, I see. Okay, so let me. Oh, you put that on. Okay.
Exactly.
Now, do you put that on afterwards as too when it's all finished?
You can if you want, if you're going to add more sauce.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's good to go.
Okay. So I'll stick this in there now. And let's put out our finished meatloaf. Look at that.
go, right?
Our
Yep.
Italian meatloaf.
Takes about 50 to 60 minutes. You always check it with a thermometer. Make sure you get to at least 165 degrees because you want the meat to be done. It is ground beef. It's not like a steak or anything.
Right.
Yep. And let me see if I can. Let's see what it looks like inside.
Yes.
It's got a nice firmness to it. There you go. So it doesn't fall apart.
I'll hold it down
There
for you.
Go. Perfect.
And that looks delish. Look at that.
There you go. Look at all the flavors in there. Yeah. And it's cooked just right. It's moist. And there's my sample piece.
Then where is mine? Mine's from.
Ooh. Wow. Oh, man.
That is moist. Oh, that is very
Isn't
good.
that nice with the garlic and everything?
That is very good, you guys. So if you missed any of the ingredients that we added right here, please go to our website at facesofitaly.tv. Until then, we will see you next time. Okay, where is my
Bon appetit.
Bon appetit.